Okay, because we don't want to count down. Emory County, once again, no more counties. And here were their challenges. Green River is to the east, and there's a number of small towns to the west. You know, Orangeville, Huntington, all those towns. And so how do you put those together? Because Green River is not the same market necessarily as those other ones. And by the way, they were hanging their hat on the Grand Rafael Swell, which is enormous. I mean, I would have, as a visitor, I would have no idea how to experience the swell. And so how do we tap into the Mighty Five as people are cruising through central Utah to get to southern Utah? You know, and by the way, is there anything that's not scenic when you get down in this area? You know what I mean? And then finally, and everyone has biking, hiking, off-roading, you name it. But you know what? We found something so extraordinary that everybody we have talked to says they're going to go there, and that is Goblin Valley. And so if they hang their hat on Goblin Valley, an otherworldly experience like nowhere else on earth, maybe that would work. And it was really interesting because Jordan in our office that our 4 communities know, he was just in Thailand last week. And when he was in Thailand, he was on a shuttle bus and there was another couple speaking English. So they started a conversation with them. And when they started that conversation with them, they said they were from England. And Jordan said, well, I'm from Seattle, but our headquarters is in Arizona. And he says, oh my gosh, that's so cool, because I, from England, was working in Arizona for several months. And I never really got to explore it, but my wife and I are planning a trip so we can experience Arizona. And while we're in Arizona, we are going to go to Utah because there's this really cool place that's called Goblin Park. This is a guy from England in Thailand that wants to come to Utah for Goblin Valley. We nailed it. They nailed it. And so we thought, what do you do? There's Jordan over there in Thailand. Snapchat photos, here's your millennials. So we thought, could we do something? Oops, I didn't mean to get out of that. Hit the wrong button. And so let me pop that back up. You know, what I see on my screen is different than what you see on your screen. And so I gotta go find this presentation. There's my mouse. Okay, so here we go. I promise not to hit the wrong button anymore. Can you imagine that? And you know what we wrote on there is one of Earth's most out-of-this-world sites can only be found in one place on Earth. In fact, these creatures are so lifelike they are known as the goblins. There are little goblins, monster goblins, and pictured bottom right, the chamber of the basilisk, or goblin's lair. You know, and then as you begin your exploration, you'll swear that you're being watched by a few of them. So where exactly is this place? It's just a scenic 3.5-hour drive from Salt Lake City in central Utah, and you'll find yourself in the amazing Goblin Valley State Park, and then I go on. And so we thought, could you do this? Nope, not a film set for The Martian. This is even better. And by the way, I don't know if we can get permission, but I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you did this? By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, it's amazing. You know, we thought this. An out-of-this-world experience at the cinnamon right here on Earth. And so this is about positioning. Then we thought, wouldn't it be cool if you could have people define their story, talk about a conversation being started. What if we did this? What if we would go run places like this and ask people, what's your story? So, you know, I went on to Google Images and I found this image of somebody camping. Notice they're in the Goblins, and then there's Subaru parked right there. I thought, what if we made up a story? And this wasn't a really good photo, but so I said, we pitched our tent, we pitched the tent, went to sleep, and during the night we were surrounded by goblins. What's your story? Wouldn't it be cool if we could encourage people to tell their story of the goblins. See what I mean? Now we're engaging the public. So what's your story? And you can do a series of those. Just about every photograph. We thought we were dreaming that we landed on another planet, but here we were at a convention of little goblins. You know, what's your story? And so you could do a series of these. At any moment and at every turn, I expect to see goblins jump to life. And so you can just have a ton of fun with it. I won't read them all. But you know, goblins were everywhere, hundreds of them, thousands of them. We weren't sure what they were up to, but we knew we were being watched. And so it doesn't matter what the photo is, you can come up with something. But, now that's Goblin Valley. But what about the whole overall area of the Granville Fell Swell, you know, Green, and by the way, the nice thing about Goblin Valley, it's central to Green River and to those communities on the western side. And so we thought, could you do a homepage that's like this? Start the superlatives. Where exactly is this? You don't see any logos anywhere on this page. Because if you want to know where this is, you have to read the text. And then, by the way, over here we put Goblin Valley, the Wedge Overlook, Green River, you know, we put the little list right here. So here's your kind of your umbrella, but it's wrapped around Goblin Valley. And you can do that with other different things, so start the superlatives. And this one here, I actually put a San Rafael Swell logo. And then even now, so now we did our umbrella brand of Goblin Valley, but you know what? We said we're not going to market all these communities individually. I mean, that would just be a nightmare for them and for everybody. So you know what? They are the Castle Valley communities. And here are their challenges. How do you brand half a dozen towns that are all 20 minutes apart? I mean, the Goblin Valley is a great draw, but what else do you have? You know, can we pick a few other signature that are closer into these communities? And then what's the closest one to us? And so their brand is Castle Valley Communities. So this is all a sub-brand under this umbrella. And then Joe's Valley, the West best bouldering destination. By the way, we found very good quotes that say that, not their quotes, third party. And so, you know, we figured out, well, we got complimentaries of the San Rafael Swell. It's too large, but maybe we can promote Goodwater Rim, a specific trail there. Maybe we can do the Wedge Overlook, known as the Mini Grand Canyon, the Black Dragon Trail. And so we thought, that's what we're going to do. And so for the rest of you, you know what? You can cross off, well, where is it? I was going to cross off bouldering right there. But, you know, so let's see, what did we cross off there? And so there it is, the off-roading. So how do you promote that? How do you promote Joe's Valley? And we thought, could you do this? Don't limit your challenge, challenge your limits. We are catering to people in their 20s and 30s. Rock climbing, bouldering is one of the top hobbies, Joe's Valley. And then I won't read the text. But we thought different things. Don't limit your challenge, challenge your limits. Make it inspirational. You know, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. So these are all to inspire things. And one of my favorite quotes, the difference between try and triumph is a little umph. Did you get that? Try and triumph. And so if you do those, and by the way, then down here we put Utah's Castle Valley. There it is, Castledale, Cleveland, Emory, Farron, Huntington, Orangeville. And even things like this. This may place be called Joe's Valley, but it certainly doesn't mean that girls don't play here. In fact, here in America's best bouldering destination, everyone starts on equal footing. And so that's what's really cool for beginners and experienced alike. And so using these kinds of quotes, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. Henry Ford. You know, and even people are doing little videos, and I don't have time to show this whole video, but this wasn't even done by the state. This was done by a private person who went there. And I'll just show a few seconds of it. But they did a good job. really cool if the time lasts. And they even named the different places in the valley. And so we thought, let's hang our hat on that because that's closer to that side. And then, you know, when it comes to biking the swell, now we're talking about complementary activities. There's a group of guys called the Commute Crew, and they took these photographs, but insane but awesome. And so, you know, you can do all these kinds of things. And these are all sub-brands under the Goblin Valley and under Joe's Valley for that side. And so that is how you do branding. You've got to evoke emotion, and you've got to make it fun and engaging. And once again, an amazing chapter. And so, you know what? We're going to cross off bouldering. They own it.